Once again, hello students. Today I want to welcome you to part 2 of my science video. And just a quick reminder that you can subscribe to quick access to all the videos that will be posted. And in today's lesson, we want to cover several objectives. The first objective for today is what is soil? 2, the different types of soil. 3, the different layers of soil. And 4, the types of rocks and the rock cycle. So with no further delay, let's go into identifying what is soil. Soil is a complex mixture of eroded rock, mineral, nutrients, decaying organic matter, water, air, and decomposers. And to continue our lesson, we want to go into listing the different types of soil and their properties. We have loamy soil or loam soil. We have sandy soil, or also what is known as sandy soil. We have clay soil or clay soil. And we have slitty soil or silt soil, which is the fourth type of soil that we're going to learn about today. So let's go into the different properties of each of the different types of soil. Okay, so the first one is loamy or loam soil. And loam soil are a balance between sand, silt, and clay particles, and considered as the most desirable soils for agriculture. So loamy soil is very important for agriculture. Then we have sand, or also sandy soil. They have coarse texture. They hold water and mineral poorly. Water and air penetrate easily. That's why they warm readily in spring and cool quickly in autumn. So remember the different features of the sandy soil. One important thing is that the sandy soil, they hold water and minerals poorly. Then you have the clay soil or clay soil. They hold a large volume of water and retain minerals. They are very slow to warm in spring and cool more slowly in autumn. Then you have slitty soil or silt soil, which are intermediate in characteristics and properties between sandy and clay soil. So those are the different properties of soil. Now we want to get a good idea of the different layers of a soil profile. You have at the top the humus, then you have the topsoil, which is humus and minerals. It gives the topsoil a rich brown color. Then you have the subsoil, which is lighter color with less humus and minerals. And at the bottom you have the bedrock, which is mostly rocks, also called solid rock. So that's the different layers of a soil profile from top to bottom. Let's go into a little more details of the different layers of a soil profile. Again, the topsoil is the top layer of soil that provides support and nutrients to plants. Then you have the subsoil, which is the middle layer of soil, which is a combination of soil and rocks. Then you have the bedrock, which is the bottom layer of soil, which is made up of rocks. Then you have nutrients, which is very important, and they are materials that plants and animals need to grow. And you have rock, which is a mass of stone. So that's the different layers and importance of a soil profile. And to continue, as you can see on the picture, there's a test on the different types of soil. They place the sand soil in a jar, the loam soil in a jar, and the clay soil in a jar. And after doing that, these are the results. From the sand soil, you get 0 to 10% of clay. After the experiment, you get 0 to 10% of silt, and you get 80 to 100% of sand from the sand soil. Then we go to the loam soil. As we can see, the loam soil. From the loam soil, you get 10 to 30% of clay, 30 to 50% of silt, and 25 to 50% of sand. So you could just see the difference compared to the sand soil. And now we go over to the clay soil. From the clay soil experiment, you get 50 to 100% of clay, you get 0 to 45% of silt, and you get 0 to 45% of sand. So just look at the different bottles and you do your comparison based on the three experiments of sand, loam, and clay soil. It's very important, just see which one hold more or less water. Look at the different features, and that will give you a good idea of the importance of these three main types of soil. And as we continue with our lesson, we want to go into rocks. So on Earth, there are three main types of rocks. The first one is igneous rocks. So granite is a common igneous rock that is formed under the Earth's surface. About 75% of the Earth's crust is granite. Igneous rocks are formed from magma, the molten form of Earth's mantle layer. These rocks can form above ground when lava comes out of a volcano, or they may form under the Earth's surface when magma cools. When igneous rocks are broken down chemically and physically, the pieces of this rock may be creating sedimentary rocks, or if these rocks undergo heat and pressure, they may turn into metamorphic rock. So one of the main ideas that you want to walk away when it comes to igneous rocks, just know that igneous rock is formed from volcano. Whenever the volcano releases the magma and the lava cools down, it turns igneous rock. Okay, so we want to go into the second types of rocks, and the second type of rocks are called sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are sediments or small particles of rock transported by water, ice, and wind. Most eventually reach the seabed, where over the years of successive layers of sediments accumulate. The weight of materials above compresses the sediments below into sedimentary rocks. These rocks are laid down in layers of beds with lines of weakness or bedding planes between layers. So sedimentary rocks is just the different sediments of the earth. At times they are driven by water or wind. The wind will just blow them, or the water will carry them from one place to the next. And these sediments will just stick on each other. And after so many years, they will come to form sedimentary rocks. So the sediments will take years of dead plants, years of different pieces of rocks, sand just come together to form sedimentary rocks. Then the final type of rock is metamorphic rocks. Then these are rocks that have been changed in shape or form. They begin as either igneous or sedimentary rocks, but are later altered by heat or pressure. And this happens, for example, along destructive plate boundaries and fault lines. Heat and pressure change limestone into marble and clay into slate. Both marble and slate are harder forms of the original rocks and have greater economic value. And then marble is used in buildings and floors. So metamorphic rock is just come from both sedimentary and igneous rock, and what changed the features of the rock is the heat and the pressure of igneous and sedimentary rock changed to metamorphic rocks. So remember, how do we have metamorphic rocks today? So they are formed, remember, by heat and pressure. And to conclude our lesson, we want to go into the rock cycle. So the rock cycle starts with the volcano. Inside the volcano, you have what is known as magma. And when that magma comes to earth, remember, it's called lava. So the first type of rock, it occurred through the cooling and hardening. So when your magma or your lava cools, it forms what is known as igneous rock. And the igneous rock at times break down by weathering and erosion, and it forms different sediments. Then after a long while, those sediments starts to come together, and by pressure and cementing, then they form sedimentary rocks. So remember, from igneous rock that come from volcano, which is magma and lava, you have sediments. The sediments are the different pieces of igneous rocks that are breaking apart along with different plants, and they join together and they form sedimentary rocks. And sedimentary rocks at times will come under great heat and pressure, and from sedimentary rocks under that great heat and pressure, those rocks will change to metamorphic rock, and metamorphic rock at times will melt, and it will go back to the beginning stage, which is magma. Again, when it comes to the rock cycle, it starts with magma. Remember, magma and lava comes from volcano. When the magma is inside a volcano, it's known as magma. When it comes to earth, it's known as lava. Then when it cools, it gets hard, and it will form igneous rock. So remember, igneous rock comes from magma. Then, through weathering and erosion, the igneous rock at times will break into small pieces, and these small pieces of rocks along with different types of plants are known as sediment, and all these things will come together to form sedimentary rock by pressure and cementing. Then from the sediments, remember, we get sedimentary rock, and sedimentary rock, through heat and pressure, it forms metamorphic rock, and the cycle will continue by magma just melting and form igneous rock again. So it's a cycle that go on and on. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Share with somebody that is going to take PSC, and remember to subscribe for more videos. Look forward to part 3 of my science video and much more coming soon.